Hey guys, today we're gonna start making Windows 8 apps, and I'm gonna show you guys how to get started with making apps on your own. I believe this only works on Windows 8, and my reason for that is when you debug your app in Visual Studios, Windows 8, it puts the app in the start menu over here. And since Windows 7 doesn't have the start menu, then my belief is that it won't work on Windows 7. So if you have Windows 8, you can follow along. So what you want to do is go into Google and type in download Visual Studios 2010. Actually, we want 2012. You want to click the first result. When the page loads up, you want to scroll down and go to Visual Studio Express 2012 and click on Visual Studio Express 2012 for Windows 8. You want to go ahead and install the web installer. If you try installing this is the ISO installer. It takes about 7 minutes, and you need to mount the ISO or burn it to a CD before you can use it. So if you don't have time for that, then just use a web installer. You want to click that, and it takes about 1 second to be downloaded. So when it's done, you want to open it up. Now I already have Visual Studios installed. It won't let me reinstall it, or I'm not going to reinstall it because it takes a long time. But this is the setup for it, and it's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna press cancel. When the installation process is finished or is over, you want to go into your start menu. Want to scroll down. It'll be all the way at the end here, and you want to click on Visual Studio Express for Windows 8. It'll look like this. Now this is the start page for Visual Studios 2012, and it shows you resources, stuff about Windows Store apps. If you need any help, you can always look on here. We're not worried about that right now. We're actually gonna go to new project. You want to go to Visual C#. You can code in any language you want, but it's more traditional to code with C#. Most of including on Windows Phone, their programming default programming language is C#. So I'm gonna go ahead and code in C#. So you want to select C# or in any language you want, and you want to select blank page. We're gonna name our app Hello World, and click OK. It takes a few seconds to load the new project. And here we are. You want to close this up because now this does require previous programming knowledge of previous programming languages. You can't just start programming apps if you don't know any programming languages. It'll be too hard. If you know Java, then it's an easy transition into coding for Windows Store apps, and it's what I did. So you want to go ahead and open up app. No, that's not what we want. You want to go ahead and edit or project. Sorry. Add a class. You want to add a blank page. You can. There's a bunch of different pages you can add on here, but we're gonna use a blank page for now. We're gonna call it screen, and we're gonna add that page on here. Now, when you first load your project, it comes with the main page, and then we just added another page called screen. This takes a while to load, actually. When screen is done loading, you want to go ahead and load main page also. Now this is where you can. Okay, here's the thing. You can either code. This is what this page looks like. Right now it's a blank slate. You can either add stuff on there, or by using the toolbox, or add stuff by using the code. For example, if we're going to add a button, we should add button code. Bottom. No, that's not it. Sorry, button. There we go. And there's our button. If you highlight the button element, it shows you the button down here. There's the button. Now we can change the content of the button. Content of button equals hello. And there it is. You can either do that, or go to the toolbox and drag a button in there. And you'll see that it adds the button in the code. And whatever element, whatever control you add into the slate, it adds its code into the code area here. So programming for or making Windows 8 apps require you to know XAML coding and C# and any other languages. So XAML, which is over here, and then any other language that was listed before when we were creating the project. So we're gonna delete these buttons. Now I realized you don't know what I'm doing. Well, if you're just beginning in coding, you don't know what I'm doing right now. And so we'll start with something easy. We're gonna go in, zoom out of this. We're gonna scroll down, and we'll add a new. What happened to my toolbox? I changed my mind. What I want you guys to do instead is open up the main page, and that should take a while to load, about a few seconds. And I want you to go here, have the main page open. It tells you what page is open up here. Go to the toolbox and drag out a text block. You want to make that text block bigger. Now we can edit the properties of the text box. Every control in here in the toolbox has a property. We can edit the properties of this text box by going here to the properties panel, and we're gonna name our text block my text block. And what text do we want on here? Hello everybody. We're gonna go down to text. This lets us change the property of the text. We can make it bigger if we want. That's at 36 pixels, and that's big enough. And we want it bold too. Now what else? Appearance. Actually, I want brush. The foreground color, we're gonna change that to red, or maybe my favorite color, blue. So now we have our app, a really basic app. We're gonna zoom out here. What you want to do is go here to the local machine and click on that. Select make sure the debug is selected down here, and any CPU is selected here, and click on the local machine. What this does is it debugs your app, make sure the code and everything's right on there, and then it launches the app. And this shows you the progress bar of the debugging. And there is our app. Hello everybody. Now to show you that it is a Windows Store app, you want to go down to the start menu, scroll all the way down, and there's your app. It's called Hello World, or 1, and you can move it around all you want. And the cool thing about this is that if you go back here and stop the debugging, you want to actually release the app. Select release and click local machine again. Let it do its thing. Again, the progress bar is down here. And there's our app. Now we're going to close that app up. We're going to stop the debugging. We're going to exit out of Visual Studio's Express for 2012. We're going to go to the start menu. And where is our app? Our app is in the same place. It doesn't go away even though we close Visual Studios. Now this app is permanently part of your start menu. And obviously that's a great bonus, because if you're making apps for yourself, let's say you're making a converter app that I made when I first started coding in Visual Studios, so it's not all that great, but I made my own converter app and I can use it whenever I want, because I'm not selling it in the Windows Store or anything, but it's just for me. It makes my life easier. So that tutorial was just about how to create Windows 8 apps and how to launch them. It's not really about how to code them, because it takes a lot of skills. So if you're a beginner in programming, you shouldn't really be doing this unless you've had a little bit more experience. I can try giving some tutorials on how to code or do some very basic applications, but it'll be very hard. And well, we saw how to install Visual Studios and create projects and launch apps and stuff. So I hope that kind of helped you out a bit. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. Thank you.